bullying. Tom says, all the name-calling I got at school. He says, Liz, now I see them and I just laugh at them and I don't show any more fear. Thanks, Tom, for the tweet. Just follow the show on Twitter at Liz Green Live. Let's speak to someone else who was bullied, and I think it has shaped her. Kate Hardcastle, now involved in all sorts of media projects and also working currently, Kate, on shaping images in the Calder Valley with school kids who may have been through your experience. How are you?
Hi Liz, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. You were bullied, weren't you?
I was, yes, for nearly 5 years.
Tell me what they did to you.
It was emotional and physical bullying. It was born out of the fact, well, there's two elements, I think. Number one, that I wasn't ever confident in myself enough to say no or to stand up.
Yeah.
And because there were some probably easy targets in my makeup, I had very prominent teeth, wore glasses, and challenged with finances, didn't have the right bag, coat, shoes to fit the mill. I also was in a school that was struggling with its pupils at the time. There was a bit of an uprising, and I was absolutely adamant I would get an education and get an education that I wanted, and so I would sit diligently and perform my homework, etc., as I asked to do, and every time I did something like this I almost made the rod for my own back, so it kind of just prolonged and went on and on.
So when you went home in the evening, and, you know, we all have that moment when we close the door and you think about life, and I think when you're a teenager this is even worse. How did Kate feel then?
I think to put no finer point on it, it is absolutely numbing. It almost stops you going out on a weekend. You don't want to be seen by these other children on weekends because they tease you, they tease your family. It was violent, and if I was told if I spoke out, if I told, my younger brother would be hurt. I was more scared of the words than I was actually scared of the violence, because that was quick and then he ran away. But the idea that I would stay after school and hide in the toilets to try and let them walk home without me, and then they would catch up with me and I'd just hear the footsteps behind me. I got through the door to a family that were very loving, but also huge charity workers, always talking about people who had real struggles in life, and it felt completely inappropriate even at a young age to bring up and wave my hand and say I think I've got some problems. So
you never told anyone?
Eventually I did, because sadly some of the physical violence involved my uniform getting dirtied and soiled, and I spoke to my mum. My mum did all the things that you would hope a parent would do. I hope I would do as a parent, go and speak to people in the school sympathetically about it. But the way of dealing with it then, and I go into schools and colleges now and I know it's very different, was to form a lineup of the people that were being accused, ask them directly were they doing it. They said no, and then we went back to square one, and all of the names I was called had the word grass or something worse on the end as well. So that wasn't the way, that's not the way to do it.
You're very successful now, and you are putting those experiences to work, as you said, in schools and colleges across this region. Let me ask you this. Has it made you stronger, that experience, that living hell for those years? Did that shape you in a good way?
Well, because you are a wonderful, wonderful interviewer, when I came to speak to you, I spoke live about this experience for the first time, and I was contacted by schools and college and asked them to go in and talk about it, and I have been able now to go and explain the journey I had is shaped completely by the bullying. I did want to show them. The voice in my head was, I will come back and I will show you that I have got a voice, and I will show you that I have a right to be listened to, and that's what I crave for. And part of that was writing to people like Anita Roddick from the Body Shop, who spent time with me, who told me in no uncertain terms what I should do with anyone that made me feel that way, and I should live the life I wanted, which is to have ethical business, which is what I now do. So yes, it's got all those things, and if you ask me honestly, would I have them without the bullying? I don't know, but I would have liked them without the bullying. And if I think about being 13 and never coming out of my bedroom, I would have killed for a weekend out of going to the cinema with friends, or all the things I just never ever had.
Those kids that bullied you, what would you like to say to them?
Can I give two answers?
Yes.
The person who's representing Positive Image campaign, which we're launching in Yorkshire, we're down in London launching today, is I would say to them, I now understand as an adult that you probably didn't feel very confident about yourself, and therefore you pushed that not in a very positive way onto me, and I forgive you, and I'm sorry you didn't have the support.
You really forgive them?
As a child that's still inside me, you know what? I've got a great business. I've got a great family. I have got a great life. I've sung on stage with people I love, so no. So I do struggle with both, if that's all right.
Do you know, I think that's fabulous. I'll do one for you. No. Yay. Thank you, Kate. Good luck with the positive image.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
That's